Hi guys, Neil at Italia Autos here. I am out on the road again today. It is Monday the 23rd of March and I am on my way to pick up this vehicle. I'm not going to say what it is yet, just going to get some stuff out of the way first. I'm a bit concerned with all this coronavirus thing going on at the minute. So I've decided to get this car today rather than later in the week, just in case it does go onto lockdown. Still going to try and film some content for you guys. I have got a few ideas that I can do and film them from the unit still. I'll work on my own and I'm in the correct trade, so I should still be able to carry on working. And with how quiet it's gone, I do believe that YouTube will probably be my only source of income for a while. So if you can support me by booking in work, that would be much appreciated. And also please watch these videos as much as you can, so I can still keep making this content for you guys, because if I'm not earning money I can't make anything. Yeah, please support me where you can. Back to the topic on hand. I'm now heading up the A38 to go and pick up a 147 GTA. It is an import, so it will be the Japanese automatic gearbox. I've never owned one, never driven one, never seen one in the flesh. So this will be a little bit different for me, and probably different for you guys, because I know there aren't many of them on the road. This one does have a mechanical problem. I have been told that the cam belt has slipped, causing some damage. The garage that it's been to is another Alfa specialist. They have retimed the engine up. It will start and drive, but it doesn't run very well and there is some knocking. So I would imagine it has valve damage at the very least. So the engine is going to have to come out of that. Now, I've never taken one of these Silly Speed GTA boxes out, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on that. If it's anything like the Silly Speed boxes on the 147 2-litre petrols, you've just got to remove the actuator from the top of the gearbox and leave everything plugged in, and off it comes. So that should hopefully be relatively simple. As I'm asking on all my videos now, I am trying to build my subscriber rate up now. As I've said earlier, I have surpassed 10,000 now, which was my original target from 12 months ago. Next target's going to be 20,000 now. So if you're watching this video or you've watched previous videos and you are liking what you're seeing, please think about subscribing. It does mean a lot to me, and I appreciate every one of you guys that spend your time to watch my videos. So I just thought I'd comment about how quiet the roads are at the minute. Today's the first day when all the kids have been off school. This afternoon, I believe McDonald's are closing. This is like really big news for everybody. There's, in the UK anyway, there's going to be nowhere for anybody to buy any food because only people eat McDonald's apparently. I would normally avoid doing a journey like this on a Monday because it's normally chaos, but pretty much on the road it's just lorries and vans. I'm probably passing about 4 or 5 lorries to one car, so it's quite scary on how quiet things have gone. It's very surreal. It's still quite unbelievable what's probably coming, but interesting to see what it's going to be like if we do have a lockdown. Keep safe, people. Right, back with GTA now. I never filmed anything up in Leeds, just purely the fact there was loads of building sites around and they were all working and you couldn't hear a single thing. So drove it all the way back to the unit now. Let's have a look around it and see what it's like. So it's a 2005 147 GTA, Japanese import. It was imported to the country, I think, 2019. The last owner purchased it in December of 2019. And the first thing he's done is get a full respray on it, cam belt, water pump and a service. The car appears to be in very good condition. The paintwork seems to be okay. It is rather dirty at the minute, so I will hold my judgment on the paintwork. But it does seem like it's a reasonable job. I know the Japanese do tend to look after their cars quite well. It hasn't come with any Japanese service history. I wouldn't be able to read it if it did, but it has come with the receipts of the cam belt work which has been recently done. Quick sneak peek at the interior for you guys. It is a cloth interior. It's the first time I've seen a cloth interior in a 147 GTA. It does have a little bit of wear on the seat bolster, but I do believe it's very similar material to the 147 seats in the standard spec. So we might be able to use some of that material if I can find a seat to make that a little bit better. As far as I can tell, everything works on the inside, everything's present and accounted for, and there's very little signs of wear. It has covered 83,000 kilometres, which I do believe translates to around 51,000. I'll have to work that out. So we'll also have to see if I can transfer the mileage from kilometres into miles, or whether I can just fit another V6 Speedo. Or does it have the gear select shifter? Oh, it has it in a screen there, so we might be able to get away with popping in a 3.2 Speedo from something else and then see if the mileage will transfer over. It does have a added head-up display showing the mileage and things like that on there. And that little noise you heard was the little card reader thing down here. Apparently in Japan, when you are driving, you have to have a card inserted to drive because of the toll roads. Don't know how it works, so we'll do a little bit of research on that, and if you guys want to know more, or you know more than me, let me know. Now the problem with the car, it does run, but it does have a tick, sort of a valve tick or a hydraulic lifter tick. So the top end of the engine is at least going to have to come off. I have heard it running. I will start it for you in a second so you can hear it, but I won't be running it for very much longer, because at the minute, yeah, it might want both heads rebuilding, but the bottom end I would hope is okay. So if you let me know in the comments below once you've heard it, what you think the problem might be. So there we go, that's the noise on it. What do you guys reckon it is? Do you reckon it's top end, bottom end, front bank, rear bank, stuck valve, bent valve, hydraulic lifter? Love to know what your opinions are on it before I start tearing it apart. In the next episode, I am going to be sticking a camera down the bores, see if I can see anything. I'm also going to do a compression test on all 6 cylinders so we can try and pinpoint where the damage is. So there we go, that's it for this episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. I will see you in the next episode, and don't forget to comment and hit that like button for me. Thanks for watching.